Christine here with the Health and Happiness Hacks Wellness Show, and I'm so excited to bring in Jesse Martin. He was nice enough to actually speak at Chateau a few months back.
Yeah.
Super helpful. He's all about mindset. And again, we're just trying to give you guys hacks, really easy health or happiness hacks you guys can implement immediately into your lives. And we want to help people more on a global scale, not just locally here in San Diego, which has been great. You know, Chateau has been around already since 2012. We've helped a lot of local San Diegans, but now it was time to bring the message of health and wellness out to everywhere as much as we can. And so again, Jesse's here with me, and we're going to ask him some questions, and he's going to help you guys out with some mindset. So first, definitely tell everybody about your company, what you do, and how you got started.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'll tell you a little about what I do and what I do with my clients and other people is really I help people with their mindset. But that's super general, and I know that doesn't really give you much to go on. Really what I do, I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I'm an NLP practitioner, and if you don't know what that is, that's neuro-linguistic programming. Essentially, that's a fancy way of saying using the language of your mind, the self-talk, the pictures you make, the feelings you have, the beliefs you have about life, and really how that affects your health, your wellness, your actions, your habits, your bad habits. And it can actually physically affect the cells of your body, and we can get into that. But I work with people, and I coach one-on-one in groups, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm so fascinated by it. I love psychology, always have.
No, me too.
Yeah, and it's just so fascinating to me. And when I headed down this road, I just couldn't stop. It was a rabbit hole, and I just learned more and more and more. And now I'm at a place where what I used to use for myself, just to be in a happy, healthy state of being and state of mind, now I just give to other people, and it's so much fun. Super grateful.
So when you say the cells, so let's back up a little bit. You're right, the stuff will definitely affect the cells in your body. Have you heard of the Snowflake? Maybe you could talk about that. The study they did with the snowflakes.
Yeah.
They played the different music.
That's right.
And how or not the snowflake. Sorry,
as bottles of water.
Pieces of water.
They had like bottles of water or glasses of water, and they would play like metal to one, and they would have someone go in and like talk to this bottle of water. Sounds super kooky, I know. But they would talk to this bottle of water, and they would say like, "I hate you. You're a piece of," and they would just like do really hurtful, mean things and put a like really negative vibe out to this bottle of water. It sounds really weird. And this other one, they'd like write love on it, and I love you, thank you, oh, gratitude, thank you for being here, you're contributing to the world. And then they studied the icicles under a microscope, the microscopic cellular like crystals of these waters, and one would form all jagged and ugly, and the loving one formed these beautiful snowflakes and these beautiful crystals, ice crystals. It's really fascinating.
No, that's so cool. So and the point is, it's just on a cellular level,
right,
the things that affect us, the mindset, the people we surround ourselves with.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's what you teach and help people with.
That's what I teach. I don't teach you the water trick because I don't know why I would want to do that. But it's a really amazing scientific example of that really affecting physical things. And it's a very weird thing, and still, like, I'm a very big skeptic around this stuff. I'm like, your mindset can actually affect physical cells. It sounds very weird, but at its heart, if you think about it, what is emotions and what is mindset? It's chemicals and neurons and hormones firing through your body. There's physical things going on. So have you ever like had the vibe of like, this person I like and this person I don't? You're picking up on something.
That's very true. And how'd you get started in this whole industry?
Oh man, I just started using it for myself. I mean, years ago, I was in a job I didn't really love. I was super socially anxious. I was feeling depressed and swinging back and forth between depression and anxiety. And it was just bringing me down. So I just wanted to pull myself out. And I had read every book. I'm one of those guys that like, you look at my bookshelf, my shelf help, like it was super like vast knowledge, like all these great stuff, like all Tony Robbins stuff. That's how I got started. And I'm like, oh, I'll get so excited. And then I read something about health and I would like get super excited and like, this is fascinating and love it. And what would happen after 2 weeks? And I don't know if you've experienced this or if you guys have experienced this, where what happens after a couple weeks is you're right. Yeah, wears off. Yeah. The motivation wears off. All that great knowledge you have, you're just right back to where you started again because nothing has really shifted inside. And one of my mentors calls it like the Tony Robbins graveyard, where people they go to Tony Robbins type event, and nothing wrong with him. I love Tony Robbins. He's super helpful.
I do too. Yeah.
And he helps millions of people, but it's that type of environment where a lot of people don't make the deep internal shifts. And what happens? You go right back to where you started, right back to your old identity, your old beliefs, and your old emotions, the stuff that is like been with you since childhood. And so that's where I was at. I was just in a stuck place, not happy with my job, not happy with my relationships. I wanted a better dating life. I wanted better friendships. I wanted just to have this amazing, abundant, awesome, healthy life. And I wasn't having it. But I knew so much, it was very frustrating because I knew all the right things to do.
Yep.
And it all changed. Like once I learned about the deep stuff that goes on, the subconscious mind, that's my field of expertise, is the subconscious mind. The stuff between your ears is way more than just your conscious thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's all the stuff that goes on below the surface.
And then with the clients you work with, how often do they come and see you? How long does it take to just really, again, it's not a weekend and for a Tony Robbins event. They go for the weekend. They're
right,
so pumped.
Exactly.
And, I have those friends that come back. They're on cloud 9, and I'm so happy for them. But it's not sustainable, I think, because they didn't really get to, it's too hard to get to the root of the issue in a weekend.
It's very true. This is actually very fast work. And that's what I was so surprised, because after years of doing self-development, I had made some good shifts over several years, some like little tweaks, and people were like, oh, you're, becoming more outgoing, or things had shifted and people noticed it. I'm like, oh, that's good. But everything changed when I learned about hypnosis. And hypnosis is just a tool to get to the stuff that's really going on deeper. That's all it is. It's just a tool. And on a bigger level is learning NLP, because that's all about the language of your mind and what is really going on a deep level. And when I learned that for myself, I just was blown away with how different. I took a 180 in my life where, for example, I have my own business and I was running my own business, but suddenly I had all this time. I was like, wait, I'm making more money and I have more time. What's different? Nothing was changed except for me.
Oh, that's so
and like, I was always one of those people that I really want to get motivated to eat healthy, and I want to get motivated to work out. And I always knew the right things. Like, how many diets have people tried? Like,
oh my gosh.
Like, I tried Atkins, I tried South Beach, I tried this, I tried that, I tried paleo, and now I'm gluten-free, vegan, the cardboard diet.
Yeah.
And it's nice, it can work, but if you can't get yourself to do something and stick with it, it doesn't really do anything. And so what I do with clients, I take them one-on-one sessions, and just like we're talking here, and actually we sit in a very similar way. We just have a conversation in my office, and within like anywhere from 8 to 16 hours of session time, people can make an entire 180 in their life and get over things like PTSD and traumas, and help them with weight loss, because it all starts in your mind. Because if there's health problems, something that you can't get over, do you think stress and overwhelm and fear and anxiety is going to be affecting your health?
Oh, for sure.
Massively.
Yeah. And that was my next question, was what's the majority, what are people coming to see you for? And weight loss, it sounds like.
Weight loss is a huge one.
Okay.
And it's just a very big issue, especially in North America, Western society. We have access to so much junk food. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere. People are working long hours. They're stressed out. They don't take time for themselves. And even when you do have time to yourself, what do? Binge on Netflix? It's just not having healthy life and healthy habits. And so I take people and I work with them one-on-one, and it's usually someone comes to me for something like, I just want to lose weight, or I just want to get myself to do the things I know I should be doing. It sounds easy, but if you've been struggling with it for years, it's not that easy. If you guys can relate to this, it would be awesome to see some comments, or just let us know if that's something you can relate to, because that stuff is really life-changing when you can realize there is some deeper processes going on, and it doesn't have to be in this stuck kind of struggle.
Yeah.
Life should be easy, don't you think?
No, and it is. And once you figure out that it is, it gets that much easier. It's just, I agree. And life's short.
Oh,
so you
man.
definitely want to try to have
So
fun
true.
and make the best of it. And so I'm sure you can give them the tools to kind of unlock that and help them go to the next level. What's one thing that gets you out of bed every single morning?
Oh man, the one thing that gets me out of bed, honestly, is doing this work. So I actually have a background doing home improvements and home repairs and flipping houses and real estate, and I just never felt fulfilled in it. It was the family business. It was good, decent income. I'm very good at working with my hands, and I love solving problems, but I never liked it. And I was always asking my psychology. I was always that guy that was a little bit quiet, but people would always come to me and just hey, Jesse, you're like my secret therapist, and people just ask me questions.
Nice.
And so I just,
That's
it was a
cool.
perfect fit because that was, even since I was a little kid, I have a couple sisters and they would always ask me for help and we just talk it out. And I was just always very good because I'm naturally very, very empathetic.
Cool.
So I would just pick up on people's emotions and what's really going on a deeper level. And before I even knew any of this stuff. And so now it's a perfect fit. And so I feel like I'm just in the perfect career doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And I'm so grateful for that. So I literally, I'm not saying this just to like sound cool. Like I wake up every morning just grateful to be doing something that I really love and really helping people on a deep level. So I wake up just a feeling of just like excitement and gratitude because I'm doing something I get to love. I live in beautiful San Diego.
No, I know.
It's like raining right now, but it's like,
Yeah.
we need it. It's like, it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to do something. That's something I love about you too. You're so inspiring to be around because you have this beautiful spa and doing things and bringing people on like a show like this. And
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
No, I just love, I mean, it's just being around so many incredible individuals here in San Diego. It's like almost like a health and wellness mecca.
it is.
So it's like, finally, let's just do this weekly show and get the message out and help, whoever even if we help just a few people, I'm totally cool with that. So yeah, that's awesome. So thank you. So I'm an avid reader, which most people already know. What is your favorite book and why?
Oh, I have so many favorite books. So I'll say around this topic, around your health, around your mindset, around your wellness, there's this amazing book called The Biology of Belief.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that
Fascinating book. I know when I spoke at your biohacking event, I wanted to bring it up and I didn't, or maybe I did, I can't remember, but it's such a fascinating book and it's written by this guy named Bruce Lipton. Again, it's Biology of Belief. It's all how your subconscious mindset, the stuff that's below the surface that you're not aware of, not consciously, just kind of running the show, the autopilot stuff, like your memories and your beliefs and your feelings, how it physically affects your cells of your body.
That's so cool.
And they'll do studies like the icicle study, like the water molecule study, might actually even be in that book. And that is an example of how your thoughts and your subconscious beliefs and your emotions will physically affect water. Well, it physically affects your cells of your body. Stress hormone will promote cancer and toxicity in your body. And that's just stress. What about fear and anxiety and all these other hormones and all these other chemicals, the negative ones, all have very specific causing toxicity and specific problems. For example, having the feeling of hurt actually affects cancer cells in a positive. It promotes cancer cells.
Yeah.
So all these different emotions, it's really fascinating. All these different emotions physically affect the cells of your body. The good news is you can resolve it on a deep emotional subconscious level, and you can resolve it in your physical cells too. It's really fascinating.
And do you have a quick tip or hack, so to say,
Yeah.
of when people are thinking of these negative thoughts, over and over, of how to just turn that around?
I do actually. I'm a big proponent of the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is the common source people find out about it is the movie The Secret and the book The Secret. And essentially the law of attraction is saying what your mind is focusing on most of the time and the feeling you have behind it is what you're going to be drawing into your life. So if you have a very negative kind of, oh, that person, this thing, is this bad thing I don't want to happen, and afraid of something happening, it's like waking up on the wrong side of the bed. It's not a coincidence that when you stub your toe and you're kind of pissed off and having a bad day, more bad crap keeps happening.
That day, yes.
That day.
Yes.
But nothing else is different. But everything is framed in the context of, oh, this is a bad day, and bad stuff actually happens.
Yes.
And so
that's a perfect example.
that's a perfect example.
That is a great one.
And so the good news is, and this is easier said than done, because for me, I know it sounds simple because it's like easy for you to say, Jesse, like you're trained in this, but anyone can do this over years and years of practice. If you want to do this for yourself, first of all, I recommend talking to someone you trust, talking to an advisor or a mentor, someone that is like further along, that is like, you would consider maybe like a spiritual advisor that kind of has this perspective to help you pull you out. Just find someone who has like a peaceful energy to them.
Oh, good. Ooh, that's a good hack.
Just find someone that you can just reflect on and they can kind of pull you out. And the number one thing that I would actually say practical to do is every thought, negative feeling and emotion and thought is, imagine it as a coin. You're looking at the heads and like, this is junk. Look at this crap that's going on. The same coin has the inverse. You know what you don't want. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be in traffic. I don't want this negative thing in my relationship. You can always take that thought and flip it and say, now that I know what I don't want, what do I want? The opposite of that same coin.
Nice.
Just literally just flip it on its head like a coin. Flip it
Every
over.
time. Yeah. No, and you could do that. So I did that. I kept using the word debt. This was a few years back. I kept saying, I want to get out of debt. Debt, debt, debt. That was like that word. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me turn this word around. So I just said financial freedom. So I created a spreadsheet. I had whatever payments left I needed to make on credit cards. And it's literally called, financial freedom.
Yeah.
So that's way more appealing, right, guys, than getting out of debt. That doesn't sound exciting to me. Financial freedom sounds way more exciting. Same with in traffic. It's like I'll roll down the window, I'll turn on some good music, turn on a podcast. If we're in traffic, which in San Diego there's not a lot of traffic. It's only certain times of the day, but and just enjoy that time. Like, okay, I'm fine. It's fine. Like, don't get stressed out. It's cool.
And what happened for you when you did the feeling or the thought from you stopped thinking I want to get out of debt and started thinking I want financial freedom? So that is the opposite of the same thought, right?
Yep.
And did you feel better? Did you have better results in your life?
Better and way better results, because then it just I just started paying it off so much faster because again it had that positive connotation where it's like, okay, cool. Like, it wasn't like, it wasn't that, because debt has such a negative connotation to it. I mean, nobody likes that word. Yeah. So no, it was a game changer.
And here's one little thing is why this works is our minds don't understand the concept of not something.
Yep.
No, or a no. Our minds don't understand the not having something. So if I told you guys, don't think of a purple cow, think of not having any purple cows. You have to think of a purple cow and then, okay, purple cow, and now remove it from my mind. So you're still focused on it in some way. And so that law of attraction, which really is, it's like gravity. It's like whether you believe it's true or not, it's still happening.
Yeah. No, and I believe it. And I watched that movie 12 years, no, maybe longer than that. When did that movie come out?
It's old. Yeah, now.
It was probably maybe 10, 12 years ago when it first came out. And I thought it was hokey. I'm like, I don't know. There's a genie coming out of a bottle. I'm like, this is a little much.
It's a very watered down version just to get the idea across.
Yeah, which for most people it was basic enough for them to kind of grasp it. But so I was like, okay, I understand that concept, but I think naturally I was lucky enough to already kind of think that way. So the movie I'm like, okay, but I've studied it since and you're exactly right. Like, even if you use the word not, don't think of this. Your mind is going to think that. You're going to attract that. So just being careful and mindful of what you're saying and putting out there. Yeah. Because I'll make jokes to the universe. I'll just say something and then it happens and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was my own fault because I'm the one that put it out there, just as a joke, just being sarcastic, or extreme, and then the exact thing would happen. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I so agree. I play a game with myself where anytime I'm driving around in a busy parking lot or downtown or somewhere where parking is really hard to find, I play a game with myself to see how fast I can manifest a parking spot. And I say manifest joking because I don't, it's so woo-woo and hippie. I'm like, let me just draw this parking spot. No, really what it comes down to is I know the parking spot's going to be there. This is what I tell myself. I know it's there. I just got to find it. Let's see how fast I can find it. There's a perfect spot just for me. I know it's there. I just got to find it. And it happens. My friends who always want to drive with me because I always get front row parking wherever we go in the busiest neighborhoods. Every single time I do this.
But I think it's that because I always have, it keeps happening.
Yes.
So because I'm I always have the best luck parking, even as I'm looking for the spot. Well, I always have the best luck, so I'll find one. Yep. So and then I do this is awesome. That's a good example too. There's so many, right?
Yeah.
Those are good.
And there's something called the success cycle, which is you have a belief I'm going to find the perfect parking spot, or I am becoming financially free. You have an idea, a thought. Then it turns into the words that you say. So a feeling turns into a thought. The way you're picturing something, the words you say to yourself, which turns into your actions. Action turns into results, and results feed back into that belief again. And so it makes it stronger and stronger. And so, but you have to start with the beliefs, the deep subconscious beliefs, not just what you tell yourself.
Yeah, like the affirmations in the morning in the mirror. What are your thoughts? Do those work? Do they not?
I'm glad you said this. This is a touchy subject.
Okay, I know it is. I don't do them. I have a gratitude journal. But
I like that.
Okay, I do that every morning.
So, and I'll give you guys something to do because I know people like to actually do something and try something.
Yes.
So everyone has probably heard of affirmations, saying something like, every day I'm getting stronger and stronger, more people love me, and something like that. That's cute. It's nice. It's better than the negative crap you could be thinking.
Yeah.
So it's better.
Okay.
But if you're saying, I am becoming wealthier every day, but the subconscious mind is like, yeah, but your parents are broke and you're in massive debt and your business is failing. It's contradicting all that stuff. It's what is going on the subconscious level. So for one is sometimes you need an expert, like come to see someone. Like if you're sick, you're going to go see a health expert. If your mind is not well, like if something is not going on well inside, see an expert. That's the easiest way to pull you out. But you can do this for yourself where just bring a lot of awareness to what is the actual feeling behind it.
Oh.
Are you contradicting yourself? Because it's actually the feeling behind it that matters.
So you want them, instead of doing an affirmation out loud in the morning, do you want them to tap into the feeling?
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine what the feeling would be like if you had this thing that you want.
Okay.
And you can still use an affirmation, say, I am becoming healthier every day. That's a great affirmation because it's not saying like, I am perfect. Because it's like, well, you're not really, and your mind's going to say, kind of contradict you.
Yeah.
So you can put it in a way that is actually true right now. I'm becoming healthier every day, or I'm making better health choices every single day.
Okay. Got
So
it.
it's like
No,
showing you like forward momentum. It's like where you're going.
Yes.
As opposed to
Just straight out lying to yourself.
lying to yourself, because then your mind's like, no, you're lying to me, and what else are you lying about? I don't want to listen to you. And then you have this monkey fight in your brain. And
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That
Yeah.
is perfect advice. So what do you do for self-care yourself?
the mindset is the number one thing I take care of, because I know that if my mindset and my subconscious beliefs, my feelings are not flowing right, if they're not positive, then I'm going to not be doing the things I know I need to do to have the success I want. Because everyone, you have health goals, or you have financial goals, or you have anything you're going for, something you want, or a place you want to be in life. You have to start, like, imagine like a pyramid. At the very bottom of this pyramid is like your thoughts and your beliefs. So my self-care is always taking care of the thoughts and beliefs, always becoming very, very aware of those. It takes a little practice because most people are just on autopilot, acting the way their parents learn from their parents or aunts or uncles or teachers. And so my number one self-care thing I do is, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is just sit on the edge of my bed, sit there, relax, breathe deep, and focus on the positive outcome I want to happen today. Just imagine as if it's like a movie in my mind. Imagine step by step everything happening just as I want it. I'm driving to a client's house or driving to my office, and there's no traffic. And if there is traffic, I just flow through it perfectly. And I get there, and like my client is like, "Hey, you want some extra money? Sure, I would love that. Thank you." And they're happy to pay me, and I'm changing their life. And I go home, and then like I have this amazing meal, and like I just imagine my day.
You'll play the whole day?
Yeah, really. I'm fast forward. It can do it in like 2 minutes.
Nice.
To sit there and just like imagine on fast forward, everything happening exactly as you want. And if you play that in your mind, it's like it's your movie. You're the director.
Yeah.
You can start to feel really good. And how much more likely do you think it's going to happen if you've already rehearsed it in your mind? They do this with Olympic athletes. They've physically tested this with basketball players. One side of the team mentally rehearse it. The other half of the team actually practice. They had almost the same results in improvement.
Yep. No, I've heard that study. No, and they, on my first ever marathon years ago, they had us lay on the grass after one of our training sessions, practice runs, and it was like the week before the marathon, and the coaches spent, I'm not kidding you, 45 minutes of they went mile by mile, all 26 miles. They made us, they said it out loud for us. Okay, by mile 5, you're going to feel like this. And
cool.
by mile 23, you're going to say, this is amazing. I'm almost done. I only got 3 miles left. I'm going to do, I'd totally do another marathon. I mean, they literally spent 45 minutes with us visualizing it and walking us through what the marathon was going to be. And it was my first ever marathon. And it literally turned out exactly how they explained it. Yeah. Like I did it, by mile 23, I'm like, even though it was one of those things I was just going to do once, now I've done 3. Because I felt that way. At mile 23, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was awesome. I would totally do another one. So
that's so cool.
It's huge to try to visualize stuff like that. In advance, if you guys have an important meeting coming up, or maybe you're going to approach your boss for a raise, again, visualizing the best case scenario before you even walk in that office can make that big of a difference because it gives you that confidence.
Yep.
So
I love how you put that because it's spot on. And I do that for every area of my life, but that's the first thing I do in the morning, and it makes my day.
Every day, though. See, that's
every single morning.
I don't do it every single day. That's really cool. I love that. So what is your big purpose in life?
My big purpose is to take what I've learned and help other people become, I say healthy, but holistic, like make this connection between your mind, your unconscious mind, the part that is running on autopilot, and your physical body. So really connecting all three. So,
ooh, that's super cool.
And because I did it for myself and that was great, but just getting healthy myself was not enough. I had to give back and contribute, and that is my big purpose in life, is give back, help other people achieve their goals, achieve their ultimate freedom and health and their perfect life, because I have this amazing system and psychology and tools and all these amazing things. I'm like, I can't just hold on to this. It's like treasure. I have to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then here's a bonus question I just had thought of. I've got a couple friends, and they're super intelligent, super driven, but they're scared. They're just fearful of failure. So what would be a good tip or trick, or how, or is that something you just really have to dive into with each individual? But it's just this fear, this unexplained fear of failure, so they won't make the jump.
So this is a problem, and it's funny you asked this. So I have a lot of very intelligent people come to me. I don't know why, but I tend to attract very intelligent people. And the problem with very intelligent people, the big problem with being highly intelligent, is you're very intellectual in your conscious mind, the part that's aware of everything, but you're not very aware. And this is kind of touchy subject because I'm saying you don't know something. For intelligent people, like, how can I not know? You don't know what's deep, deep, deep down, the autopilot stuff that you have from your upbringing and your background and all your experiences in life. So for those people, become more aware. Try some of that weird hippie woo-woo stuff of like sitting and breathing. Like highly intelligent people say, well, tell me what to read. Tell me what to read. Tell me what to do. Chill out. Try breathing and being human, and go experience your life and how you feel. And know, you'll start to hear the little subtle thoughts and beliefs come up. Those are the subtle things, the quiet things that are actually affecting you more than you know. So become aware of that stuff. And then when you're aware of it, then you can start to change it.
And tackle it. Ooh, that's great advice. Yeah, these three individuals I'm thinking of right off the top of my head, very high IQs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gosh, you're too smart for your own good. I think that some of us are so naive that we just jump and do things. We just don't know any better. Which I guess is good because we don't overthink things.
That's right.
Ready, fire, aim is what I like to say.
I love it. It's true.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So again, because we don't overthink it, but that's okay. That's cool. That's good advice. Well, Jesse, I appreciate you being here on the show. Can you let everybody know the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, and I want to do something really special for your audience. And so typically what I do is, if someone just wants to know more about this stuff, I just have a quick 10-minute call with them and just see if it's something that can help them. What I actually want to do is I want to give everyone a 30 to 45-minute NLP and hypnosis session, something that they can just use, and we can talk about it and strategize of where they can use this in their life. And if I can help them, great. If not, I'll just send them on their way with some great advice.
Yay!
And so you can find me, and maybe we can put a link in the show. But
we will for sure.
You can find me at CoachJesseMartin.com, and that's my website, CoachJesseMartin.com/apply.
Cool.
And it just gives you a little link, and you can book some time in my calendar that I set aside just for you guys. So
nice. Yeah, and we'll have the links all in the show. And again, thank you so much for being here today.
Loved it. So much fun.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye guys.